What if I told you that thousands of seniors are managing their blood pressure without relying solely on medication? High blood pressure can feel scary, especially as we get older. But here's the truth. Small, realistic changes can make a meaningful difference. Welcome to Senior Health Insights. I'm here to share evidence-based health strategies specifically for adults over 60. Today's topic is crucial: blood pressure management. Nearly half of American adults have hypertension, and the prevalence increases significantly with age. Approximately 2/3 of adults over 65 have hypertension. It's one of the leading modifiable risk factors for heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. But here's the good news. Research demonstrates that specific lifestyle interventions can reduce systolic blood pressure by as much as 8 to 14 millimeters of mercury, which is comparable to what some blood pressure medications achieve. DASH diet, a plan developed by the National Institutes of Health and proven in multiple clinical trials to significantly lower blood pressure, especially in adults over 60. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. This isn't just another fad diet that promises quick fixes. It was developed through decades of research by the National Institutes of Health and has been tested in multiple clinical trials involving thousands of participants. The DASH diet is consistently ranked as one of the best heart-healthy diets by medical experts worldwide. In fact, 2025 American Heart Association and American College of Cardiology guidelines specifically recommend the DASH eating plan for individuals with elevated blood pressure or hypertension. Let me share some compelling research that demonstrates just how powerful this dietary approach can be. The original DASH trial, published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 1997, was a groundbreaking multi-center study involving 459 participants. Researchers tested different dietary patterns to see which would most effectively lower blood pressure. Participants had systolic blood pressure less than 160 millimeters of mercury and diastolic blood pressure between 80 and 95 millimeters of mercury, which represents a significant portion of the adult population. Here's what they discovered. The combination DASH diet, which was rich in fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy products while being reduced in saturated and total fat, reduced systolic blood pressure by 5.5 millimeters of mercury and diastolic blood pressure by 3.0 millimeters of mercury more than the control diet. These results appeared within just 8 weeks. Even more impressive, among participants who had hypertension at baseline, the DASH diet reduced systolic blood pressure by 11.4 millimeters of mercury and diastolic blood pressure by 5.5 millimeters of mercury. A comprehensive 2020 meta-analysis published in Advances in Nutrition examined 30 randomized controlled trials with 5,545 participants. The analysis confirmed that compared with control diets, the DASH diet reduced both systolic blood pressure by 3.2 millimeters of mercury and diastolic blood pressure by 2.5 millimeters of mercury. The quality of this evidence was rated as moderate according to rigorous scientific standards. More recent research from 2024 continues to validate these findings. A systematic review and meta-analysis found that the DASH diet significantly reduced both systolic blood pressure by 1.29 to 4.6 millimeters of mercury and diastolic blood pressure by 0.76 to 1.1 millimeters of mercury. Now you might be wondering, why do these numbers matter? Research shows that even a 5 millimeter of mercury reduction in systolic blood pressure can reduce mortality rates by 4% from coronary heart disease, 6% from strokes, and 3% from all causes in normotensive adults. For hypertensive individuals, these percentages nearly double. The DASH sodium trial took this research further by examining how sodium intake interacts with the DASH diet. This trial included participants on 3 different sodium levels: higher sodium representing typical American consumption, intermediate sodium reflecting current recommendations, and lower sodium representing potentially optimal levels. The results were remarkable. The DASH diet with lower sodium intake, limiting sodium to 1,500 milligrams daily, resulted in even greater blood pressure reductions, approximately 2 to 7 millimeters of mercury more than the standard 2,300 milligram daily sodium limit. Interestingly, the 2020 meta-analysis found that the DASH diet reduced systolic blood pressure to a greater extent in trials where sodium intake exceeded 2,400 milligrams per day compared to trials with sodium intake at or below 2,400 milligrams daily. This suggests the DASH diet may be particularly beneficial for people currently consuming high amounts of sodium. Let me break down the specific components of the DASH diet. These recommendations are based on a 2,000-calorie daily intake, which may need adjustment based on your individual needs. Fruits provide potassium, magnesium, fiber, and natural sweetness without added sugars. Vegetables are powerhouses of vitamins, minerals, and fiber with very few calories. Whole grains provide energy, fiber, and B vitamins. Fish, especially fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, provides heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids. Dairy products are major sources of calcium, vitamin D, and protein. These foods are excellent sources of protein, magnesium, potassium, fiber, and healthy fats. Use vegetable oils like olive, canola, and safflower oil. Limit saturated fats found in butter, lard, and fatty meats. What to limit? Sodium, added sugars, red meat, processed foods, saturated fats, and cholesterol. First, the DASH diet is naturally high in potassium, calcium, and magnesium. These minerals play crucial roles in blood pressure regulation. Potassium helps balance sodium levels and relaxes blood vessel walls. Calcium is essential for blood vessel contraction and dilation. Magnesium helps regulate numerous biochemical reactions that affect blood pressure. Second, the diet is rich in dietary fiber from fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Fiber improves overall cardiovascular health and helps with weight management. Third, the DASH diet reduces saturated fat and total fat intake, which improves cholesterol levels. The same 2024 meta-analysis found that the DASH diet significantly reduced total cholesterol by 5.2 millimoles per liter and low-density lipoprotein cholesterol by 8.2 millimoles per liter, while increasing high-density lipoprotein cholesterol by 8.2%. Fourth, limiting sodium reduces blood volume and decreases the workload on your heart and blood vessels. High sodium intake is directly associated with elevated blood pressure, and the kidneys play a key role in this process through a mechanism called pressure natriuresis, where elevated blood pressure results in increased excretion of water and salt. I know that completely overhauling your diet can feel overwhelming. Let me share practical strategies to make this transition manageable. Don't try to change everything overnight. Begin by modifying one meal per week. Once that becomes comfortable, add another meal. Research shows that gradual changes lead to better long-term adherence than dramatic overhauls. Start with breakfast. Replace your usual breakfast with DASH-friendly options 3 times this week. For example, steel-cut oatmeal topped with sliced banana, a handful of walnuts, and a drizzle of honey whole grain toast with avocado and a boiled egg, plus a cup of low-fat yogurt with berries. Smoothie made with low-fat milk, banana, berries, spinach, and a tablespoon of ground flaxseed. Continue your breakfast changes and add 3 DASH-friendly lunches. For example, large salad with mixed greens, grilled chicken breast, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, chickpeas, and a vinegar-based dressing with a whole wheat rolled turkey and avocado wrap on a whole wheat tortilla with lettuce, tomato, and mustard, plus an apple and carrot sticks, vegetable soup with beans, whole grain crackers, and a side of fresh fruit. Continue breakfast and lunch changes and add 3 DASH-friendly dinners. For example, baked salmon seasoned with herbs and lemon, served with quinoa and roasted broccoli stir-fried chicken with a variety of colorful vegetables over brown rice, lentil and vegetable stew with a whole grain roll and side salad. First mistake, thinking you need special or expensive foods. Everything in the DASH diet is available at regular supermarkets. Frozen vegetables and fruits are just as nutritious as fresh and often more affordable. Dried beans and lentils are inexpensive protein sources. Second mistake, forgetting about portion sizes. Even healthy foods contribute calories. The DASH diet isn't just about what you eat, but also how much. Use measuring cups initially to understand proper portions. Third mistake, not reading nutrition labels carefully. Foods marketed as healthy may still be high in sodium or added sugars. Always check the sodium content per serving and the number of servings per container. Fourth mistake, giving up too quickly. Blood pressure improvements typically appear within 2 to 4 weeks of following the DASH diet, but it takes time for new eating patterns to become habits. Be patient with yourself. Fifth mistake, thinking one perfect day followed by several off days will work. Consistency matters more than perfection. Aim for following DASH principles 80 to 90% of the time, rather than 100% for one day and 20% the rest of the week. Seniors have unique nutritional needs that deserve attention when following the DASH diet. First, ensure adequate protein intake. Seniors need more protein to maintain muscle mass. The DASH diet provides sufficient protein through lean meats, fish, poultry, eggs, beans, nuts, and dairy products. Second, stay hydrated. Older adults often have a diminished sense of thirst.
Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water daily, unless your doctor has given different instructions.
Third, if you have difficulty chewing, modify textures while maintaining DASH principles. Cook vegetables until tender. Choose softer fruits like bananas and melons. Use ground meat instead of tough cuts. And consider smoothies incorporating DASH foods. Fourth, if you live alone, meal preparation can feel burdensome. Consider batch cooking once or twice a week. Make large portions of soups, stews, or casseroles that follow DASH guidelines. Then freeze individual portions for convenient meals throughout the week.